Testing, testing. Well, here I am. It's been a couple of days since I posted a video, but I really have dropped into an amazing hole. Thanks to Nguyen. His video tutorial series on C scripting for plugin development for Grasshopper. I mean, I've achieved after what should be a 3-day workshop, and I'm only into like the second and a half day, and it's taken me probably a week to get through that because it's very new to me. I have not developed Visual Script. I've done a little bit before through Mosh, but nothing so directly linked to the Grasshopper. So here what we have is just a timer, and I'm managing to uncrumple an ever-expanding growing piece of paper, and it's right from the tutorials. But I have built the script, I've debugged it, I've watched every plus and minus, every plus minus, every plus plus, everything I can, and I think I wrapped my head around exactly what's happening with these spheres. So the geometry you're about to experience is not the geometry I'm thinking about. The geometry I am thinking about is actually on Visual Script. So here's what I'm generating, and following along the tutorials, trying to build it, not just that, but the mesh grows, trying to understand how these variables play in and out on Grasshopper script, how to bring in these, how to make your own nodes and plugins. And yes, I have to follow it to a T, but I've been through it enough times. I've been through it 3-4 times. I think I'm starting to understand. Python helped a lot to move to this. Hopefully I can go back. I don't know if I need the public-private for what I'm going to be doing, but it is a wonderful way to come at understanding. And without further ado, I guess I'll jump back into and show you what this thing uncrumples as. And there it is. It's I just think it's fantastic. There's a little overlap. He says about 5% will avoid itself. Just a wonderful little toy, and of course the script itself has all of its other, the plugin itself has a lot of things going in it, but developing a plugin like this, getting in and being able to work through my first one, and then the pyramid, and moving through centroid and understanding this, creating the pyramid, and then moving particles. What a wonderful tool. So as you expand it, but then realizing you can simplify this as much as you want. What I'm going to do is just grab this slider. I'm going to slide it down to here, maybe to like 5 iterations, and maybe up to 35 or 30 iterations. So what I can do is just plug in and unplug these as I develop it from a mesh. So there's that one. Grab a Control Shift and throw this data into the 5, which would be a lot less. A really nice little. And I'm gonna do some relaxation on this, but what a gorgeous thing in rendering. I mean, and also consider that it is rendering in real time. Really nice. I can't do ray trace this way, but I have to wonder what it would look like. Let's do the really crumpled piece of paper. There you go. So, all the vertices, you can see how fast these scripts are running. I mean, it's just blowing me away, 20 milliseconds. And getting into Plankton Mesh, I have been wanting for months to figure out. That was the one node that was driving me crazy on Grasshopper. What is a Plankton Mesh? Well, I understand that now. As triangles being vertices and lines between them, you can split those vertices, those lines between them, and have a front-facing and back-facing. So what I think about as a triangle now is ever more complex and beautiful. So I don't know what this thing would look like in a ray trace model, but I'm kind of curious to what it would be. Yeah, it would just take a long time. It wouldn't generate because the script's running, so I'd have to turn it off, and you can see what's happening. It's like it doesn't know what to do. So I understand that, to visualize this and wrap your head around it is pretty outstanding. And then I'm going to start playing with all these numbers and relaxing things. And actually, I like the very subtle piece. I like the one that's just a nice, crumpled, beautiful piece of paper. And if at any time I thought that was worth doing, I guess I could go in here, grab that mesh, which is quite simple in the end, as that's expanded out to where it is, and take a little bake on that, and end up creating my own wonderful devices. I really am thrilled to do this. I'm not sure why I'm not be able to move it. Strange. Maybe I should just turn my timer off for a second. I just set it up again. That was nice to see it fold into itself again. So really playful. And as I take this and have this vibrate and move into augmented reality and VR, I think a HoloLens is in my future. I think development there is going to be really fun. And there's the mesh in the end that was baked. I think my Grasshopper script shut off. I have to wonder. Oh, okay. It's a grid snap, and it's such a small thing, it just didn't want to move. Okay, I was just playing, screwing myself up. So there's one crumpled little piece, and you could do the same by, very simply doing the plugin. So yeah, this is not. I mean, I'm not going to be into teaching this at all. When I consider the hours and what has to be done, I'll try and simplify this into my own beginning plugins, which will be much more, based on simple pyramid designs and such. But these scripts are amazing. They're open source. You can gain access to them. Nguyen, what an incredible thing that was brought together. I'm just going to generate this one again as a crumpled form, and there it is. And jump in here again and just grab a little bake off of that, which should be fun. And then I have another one here that's a lot different, being generated in that way. And then let's just take the one in the middle. I don't know what to say. It's been such a long time coming, chasing this back, and there's the third one. Really nice, and I'll just grab that little bake render, which I'm happy to have. And in the end, c'est la vie. That's it. That's my that's what I managed to accomplish, and very happy with this. Excitement to think of these as forms, and know that I can conceive of them and actually not just see them as they tend to be right here, which I've been so happy with, just kind of renderings and things like this in the past. But now to end up visualizing geometries and think about what they mean, that's a nice shot there of what's been rendered. And there's your I mean, you can pull those in the colors and see what you have on other shaded. I guess I could make that a little more exciting by throwing it into a blue. The blues I really like playing with. There we go. So really nice. And it's kind of interesting that it kind of overlaps. The other thing I learned in Grasshopper, which I think is amazing, is I can get rid of this, and I never knew this. So I'm endlessly learning things, which are amazing. But I can grab a clipping plane here, and I never knew on Rhino 6 the clipping plane worked. I think this is pretty cool. Like, it doesn't matter where it is on the screen, but there it is. You've got a pretty cool clipping plane that you can grab through and have a sense of these objects. And of course, my grid snaps on such a small form, I should probably take that off. And there you go. Start to cut through this and really see what's making these up. Just the infinite nature of what I'm learning in details and shortcuts in Visual Studio. Nguyen has made it so wonderful. I said, if you have the time, jump through it. Really go into it and watch that video tutorial series. Here it is. It's this one. I'm still processing 5. I'm going through it. It's going to end up with this part 6. But these are 2 3-hour video tutorials made open source and available to everybody after years. They're 3 years old, but it's at the extent of what I can wrap my head around it. I'm so thrilled to be able to start visualizing, like I said, codes and scripts like this, and understanding how they work as functions and where to call them. And my data management is getting so good, like be able to chase in directories where all of these things are. And the skill sets of splitting screens and working in Visual Studio are coming through this workshop. So I really encourage anybody who's interested in getting into development and doing plugins and making their own. Nguyen makes it look really easy, but I swear if I was playing chess with him, he'd be 10 moves ahead of me. So to have it all open and in front of you, and for me to catch small bugs, I'm happy enough with that. But moving on to Visual Studios also is well worth the effort of going into this. And it's really a rant for 8 minutes of how excited I am about all this, and encouraging others to do it. And I've been asked, like, when am I going back into Python? There's a lot with Visual Script and a lot of things that I think I can organize really well in C, and as long as I understand that from those scripts these geometries are being made, and these geometries are completely remakeable, which is just outstanding. And I'm learning tons of tricks through it just by listening to Lon talk about all the details. So enough said. It's been a couple of days since a video. I've still got to get through the last few of these, and then I'm going to go on to a video series which started in June. It's another C# video series for Grasshopper, really the basics to teach C programming, which is something I should have done off the bat. This one's pretty advanced, but because Lon makes it so easy to follow along, you really will be achieving leaps and bounds with this course. So thanks very much for watching.